Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Movie Battles. This is our very first pre-recorded movie battle. We've always done them live. They're usually on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Melbourne time. But this is the first time we're pre-recording live, and we got a very special guest, Jacob, joining us today. How you going, mate?
Good, Wayno. Thanks for having me on. I've been trying to get on for a while. You came on my show recently as well, which was very fun, very similar format. Whole reason we're pre-recording is because my co-host Jaron was meant to come on, but now he's bailed because he's too busy, having a fucking family and shit. So, fuck that guy. But
Family's overrated.
Excited to do this, guys.
Yeah,
we're excited having you, mate.
Yeah, we'll definitely get Jaron on another time anyway. But yeah, stoked to have you anyway. But for now, we are going to do 2014 movies. 2014 is an absolute killer year. If you look at the list, it's pretty nuts. I'm a big sort of hater of modern movies. I won't say I hate a lot of modern movies, but I just don't think movie making these days is as good as it used to be. 2014 is 10 years ago though now, so it's not
Which
really
is crazy
modern.
to think about. It really makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. But yes, there is a lot of fucking good movies in 2014, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to do the duck race. For those who haven't seen this before, we do a duck race to decide who goes first and what order we go in. So we will do that right now, if I can remember how to do this.
Duck race.
I never can. Duck race.
Insert caption and fucking graphics here.
Oh no! It wants me to
Getting a look behind the curtain here.
Yeah.
I've shared the wrong screen.
Hey, lucky we don't have cameras under the table. You see me with no pants on.
Yeah, so glad I can fucking edit this shit.
And here's our under table views.
This is fucking moving for some fucking reason. Oh god!
All right, duck race.
The iPad's
We've all got.
like that.
Is it working? It's working.
All right, let's go.
No, you fucking good thing.
Yeah.
It's going.
Usually, if you're at the back, you're good. It's always someone from the back.
Come on,
even though.
I'm due for a win.
All these ducks are shit.
Oh, here comes Adsey. Fuck you.
Adsey, Jacob.
I'll take second if that's what's happening here.
I'm last again.
Adsey, Jacob. No, you're
third.
I'm last.
Fuck.
No, you like third. I know Geoff likes third.
I do like third. Third.
Good. It's a good posse.
Put us in order. All right, Adsey, what do you got? Number 1, 2014.
There's so many goodies. I'm gonna have to go Nightcrawler. I think a perfect film. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I mean, I know you guys were gonna thinking I was gonna do Fincher, and I was thinking about it, and I think Nightcrawler just edges this one for me because I've watched it, I think, more times, and Jake's performance is his best performance he's ever done. The direction by, I think it's Tony Gilroy, and just the script is like tight as drum, and Rene Russo's fucking fantastic. There's one scene between the two of them. It's just like, it's on like Donkey Kong, and that dinner scene where it's the most uncomfortable dinner you'd ever see, and there's just so many fantastic things in this film, and it just goes from bang to bang to bang to bang. There isn't one bit where you're like, that's a little bit boring. It's just phenomenal filmmaking, and like I always say, I could watch it right now.
Ironically enough, we were just talking about Civil War in the break, but without spoilers, I think Nightcrawler does some of what Civil War tries to do in terms of journalism, but like 10 times better. Incredible film. We talked about it on our Jake Gyllenhaal podcast on my show, Wayno. So listen to that one if you're out there.
Yes. I probably should have mentioned at the start of the show. We'll do it at the end, but yeah, Jacob and Jaron have their own film draft podcast, which is on Spotify and wherever else you listen to your pods. It's bloody awesome, so go and check it out. We'll talk about it a bit later. But yes, I was on it, and we did Jakey G, and he's amazing in Nightcrawler. Like
It's his greatest performance for sure.
yeah, by a mile. Like he plays that fucking sociopath like so well. Like I don't know if anyone could have done it as well as he did it. So I think it's by far my favorite of his performances and films. Probably, well, maybe it's very close for films. So yeah, Jacob, you're up next.
Yep. All right. I got a big 3 here. I'm choosing between, and it's kind of freeing because I kind of know Wayno's taste, but the other guys, I don't really know your taste as well, so I can't quite tailor it to getting votes and everything. But I'm just gonna pick what my favorite is. It's sort of fluctuated over the years because 2014 was around the time I was getting into film and watching every new release and stuff. So look. I'm taking the Grand Budapest Hotel. Love or hate Wes Anderson,
Beautiful.
this is usually the one that most people agree, even the haters, is his best work. I happen to love Wes Anderson. He's one of my favorite directors, and I think this is just his absolute masterwork that takes all the best elements of his style before he maybe started getting a bit more self-indulgent with the later stuff that I still love too. But just Grand Budapest, and it's only like an hour and 40 minutes long, which is crazy when you think about how epic that film is and like all the stages the characters go through. But Ralph Fiennes like incredible in this film. I don't even think he got an Oscar nomination for it, which is insane because he's just, fuck's sake, so just tell me what the fuck is fucking going on. Like, just so such a fun film. Great use of miniatures, great production design, great intro to Tony Revolori as an actor. Just an absolute masterpiece that gets me more and more emotional every single time I watch it.
Yeah, it's a great one. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm not
agreed.
the biggest Wes fan, but I think that's his his best one, for sure. And I loved Tilda in that one as well.
I actually haven't seen it, and that is because I am not a Wes Anderson fan. But I do still. I've always sort of planned to watch it because I still like to give them a chance. But it makes it hard when I'm not really a fan of his stuff.
Look, I have buddies who fucking hate Wes Anderson but still love this movie. Like, I think it is probably the one that I could have hoped that you end up liking. I should have picked one of the other ones. I know a lot of people don't like him, so there was a gamble there. But
it was on my list, short list.
I've got Adsey on board at least.
I love Wes. I reckon he's awesome. I like his films.
Yeah.
Well, it's my turn, and I'm going totally strategic, but I'm going to go with John Wick, the fucking movie that started the whole fucking phenomenon. I don't think they thought that it would be as successful as it was. It's just a great action flick. It's one of those flicks when you watch it. I remember feeling that, like back with the Jason Bourne came out, like the ultra violence and how cool and stylized it was, and then everyone sort of copied that. And then John Wick, I felt like just took that to another fucking level again. I remember watching it thinking like, oh my god, it's Jason Bourne. But
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
But now that's changed. I think most people are like, fuck, it's John Wick. Like, Jason Bourne's not even on the forefront now. So
yeah, it's crazy to think how far that film's come, because now, John Wick's like everyone's dad's favorite movie, like, and rightly so. It's fucking incredible. But when it first came out, it was just this rinky-dink little action film that just came out of nowhere and spawned this great franchise. And some argue it still is the best one, the original.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beauty. Yeah.
I think the fourth one is just too good. Like
the fourth one's my favorite, but
it's too good.
One is great as well. I can't believe it. I got 2 picks in a row. I got 2 absolute bangers that I'm going to pick. Number 1, I am taking Interstellar.
Nice.
I am a massive fan of this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the last 20 years, probably. I've picked it multiple times on different drafts, I think. I'm a big fan of Matthew McConaughey. I never used to be. Weirdly, in the 90s, I didn't really like him. There's something about him that got me, but I absolutely love him now. Yeah, I just think it's an amazing movie. I'm a big fan of sci-fi too, but I'm not one of those sci-fi nerds that can just watch any old sci-fi. It has to be really good. So for me, that's an easy number one pick for me. I probably would have picked it if I had picked two. I would have picked Nightcrawler first. And then
Have you?
sorry, go.
Sorry, have you seen 2001 yet?
I've seen it years ago, and I tried to watch it a few weeks ago, and I got distracted, so I'm halfway through it.
Yeah, please watch that, because that, like, when you watch Interstellar and you watch, like, if you watch 2001 and then watch Interstellar, you see it's just, and it's on 4K now, so you'll get to see all the things, and it's just fantastic. Yeah.
Interstellar's like the only thing since that's like matched it in terms of how good its visuals are for like, because I watched 2001 as a kid, didn't get it, rewatched it in a movie theater a couple weeks ago. Holy shit, what a masterpiece, right?
Yeah, like I mean, when I was watching it, I didn't turn it off because I didn't like it. I was genuinely distracted somehow. I had to do something, but yeah, like it's captivating. Like you know, even though I wasn't a lot going on or at the time at the start, yeah, I definitely got to go back to it. I have seen it a long time ago, but no memory at all of it, so it doesn't really count. My second pick is Gone Girl, Fincher. Again,
yeah, that's one of the ones I was weighing up for that first one.
Yeah.
When we did our old version of the show that we used, the boring version of the show we used to do, where we talked about one movie every week, we did yeah. The Gone Girl was one of the episodes that we did, and yeah, I mean, again, it's a masterpiece. It's Fincher. Like, does he have a bad movie? Alien 3.
Benjamin Button's not great, but nah, Fincher's the king.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Benjamin Button either, to be honest.
No, I'm not either. And he's my favorite director, and I'm not.
I'm glad Jaren's not here. I can say a negative thing about a Fincher movie without him fucking killing me.
He does.
Only one though, mate. The next one's gonna cast you.
But no, Gone Girl was my number 2 on the board. It's it's my favorite Fincher film.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah.
It's not quite there for me. Like, you know, I love some of the 90s ones a bit better, but yeah,
we're 90s children.
And yeah, Rosamund Pike. How good is she?
Probably my favorite performance of the entire 2010s, Rosamund Pike. She was fucking robbed of that Oscar.
Yeah,
brutally.
I mean, anyone who slashes Doogie Howser's throat, come on.
Yeah. Or what's his character in freaking Harold and Kumar?
Just Patrick Harris. Yeah.
I just assumed he was still alive after she did that. He gets killed like 12 times in those movies.
Yeah, true. He'll be fine.
Back to you, Jeffrey.
I'm going to go with a banger, Whiplash.
Yep, that's the other one I was weighing up for the first pick.
Same. Yeah, movie about a guy. He wants to be a drummer. He's got a music teacher who's just relentless in his methods. Borderline, well, it's not borderline. He's a fucking asshole. Pushes this kid to the limit, but this kid's got some spunk and pushes back, and it's just this tug of war of I don't know what emotions and authority or whatever you want to call it, but it's a great film. On paper, it sounds like it'd be boring, like a bloke learning drums, copying a hard time off the teacher, but there's just really good dynamics between the two characters. And by the end of it, you just like, you think by the end of it, you're like, fucking, you're all assholes. You're all pricks. But for some reason, you still really like all of the characters at the end as well. So it's a really well-crafted, well-made film.
Yeah, exhilarating ending. Just like, feel like I've drunk a 4-pack of Monsters after watching that film. I just want to go hit someone.
J.K. Simmons is he's just so intense. Hey, I'd like to see him do more of that rather than, the guy in the office in Spider-Man or whatever he usually does.
Yeah, like he's always great, but yeah, like
Yeah, he is.
He needs to let loose a bit more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Do I look like a double fucking rainbow to you?
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a Mars bar underneath the fucking seat.
Get the fuck out of my face before I demolish you. I could just do a whole episode quoting that. Dude. Some of the greatest insults in a movie from that guy for sure.
He's gorgeous. I was going to say he's gorgeous. He is gorgeous.
He's a gorgeous man.
He's such a gorgeous boy.
All right, back to you, Jagged.
Okay. Well, look, the next two things I was going to pick were just picked in rapid succession. So, fuck. So I'm just going to pick my next favorite thing on the board of film. I have no idea if you guys have seen, but I hope you have because it's an absolute masterpiece. And that is the action film, The Raid 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will see your John Wick and raise you The Raid 2, which I think is just one of the greatest action films of all time. When this came out, I had to make my dad buy me the Blu-ray because I wasn't old enough. But so all in on this film, and they just took what was such a great simple action film with The Raid and then built it up into this like 2.5 hour long gangster epic that is like genuinely, I think, one of the most compelling like crime narratives of all time, with this like next level action that just keeps escalating and escalating. Great memorable henchmen, like you feel like you're playing a video game, making your way through levels, fighting different bosses and everything in the best way, and just all the stunts are real. It's people really fighting each other, and I think that's something that goes such a long way in action movies. It's something that the John Wick movies do really well too, and even the Raid 3, John Wick 3 had a lot of its choreography inspired by The Raid, and they had some of the guys from that work on it. So it's had a huge influence on the genre too. And what a film!
It's an awesome film.
100% agree, and I think that they topped the first one with the second one, and the second one gave me Departed vibes.
Yeah, big time.
Sort of yeah, because you've got the undercover. I won't spoil it for anyone, but there's an undercover sort of thing going on there, and that scene on the train, mate. Holy shit!
Baseball bat guy and Hammer Girl are two of the greatest like
the Hammer Girl, mate,
ever.
It's fucking badass. So yeah, if you guys want an action film that is just fucking brilliant, like I actually think it's better than probably not. It's probably on par with John Wick 3 and 4, but I mean, it's different. It's not like the whole way through John Wick just killing people. There's an actual. I was going to say there's an actual storyline, but there kind of is. But it's fantastic. I love John Wick. Yeah, so I'm not saying I don't do it like that.
I just realized
good action movies around. Like it's had a very positive influence on the genre. I think, like especially that and John Wick, it's made a lot of people like, all right, maybe we should actually turn back to real stunts and shit. Yeah. And then you have the Jake Gyllenhaal Roadhouse movie using CGI and fist fights. So I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh, that was fucking dog shit. Man.
So bad.
Surprised the Yanks haven't fucking tried to do a remake of The Raid.
They've been trying to for years. It just hasn't gotten off the ground yet. It'll probably end up happening at some point. I think Frank Grillo was involved. He's good, but I don't know.
He's no Udo Quaid,
no.
Literally, he does some shit.
Do yourself a favour, just go watch the originals before they fuck it up.
Yep. Words to live by.
Well, it's coming out on 4K shortly in Australia from Umbrella, so that'll be wicked.
Is that just The Raid? Yeah, I'm going to order that.
Yeah, I already bought the 4K from the UK release, so I'm very keen to watch that because it's got like a new color grade and shit. Like to look closer to how he originally wanted to get it, but didn't have the money for. So exciting.
Yeah. No, sweet. I got two bangers here, but I'm gonna go. I got two picks. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Fury. So add a bit of war in there. For me, Brad Pitt is fucking brilliant in this. Shia LaBeouf is fucking awesome. And the young fella, I think it's Logan Lerman or someone, who's the kid in Perks of Being a Wallflower. He's fantastic. and and you've got John Bernthal, you've got all these, and Michael Pena, all these great actors, and it's like a fucking punch in the face of a film or a war film, and that whole ending scene with the tank versus all the Germans. But I mean, I loved it. Yeah, it's fantastic, and that dinner scene was wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I reckon my dad's watched that movie about 100 times. Like when I used to live with him, I would just walk in and he's like, "Oh, watching Fury again, third time this week. All right, man. It's a great movie. I really like it too."
I think it's underrated
yeah.
when people talk about war films. They don't really go to it, but
No.
I love it. It's one of my favorite war films. Yeah, I think it's
one of David Ayer's better movies. Absolutely.
I need to go back and watch it. I've only seen it the once, so I can't really remember much about it.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, I'm going war again. I'm going American Sniper.
Ooh.
This one's a completely different war film. This one's more about a guy who's battling a mental war, and it's about the sniper Chris Kyle, who killed I think he killed the most blokes in the American army. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure he tallied up the numbers anyway. It was in the 300s or something, and it's about him trying to deal with that. And Bradley Cooper is fucking fantastic in it, and so is what's her name from 4X. Freaking lost it. It's early in the morning, but she's fantastic. It'll come back to me, and and some of the action scenes are great, but I thought this was really good, and Clint Eastwood directed it, so love it. Yeah,
not huge on it, but only seen it the one time. Cooper's.
I love war films, though. So.
Yeah. No, it's a great film, but yeah, you're right, Adsey. He did have the most confirmed kills. He had. They reckon he had a lot more that were unconfirmed. Like he was a fucking sniper.
Yeah,
best fake baby I've seen in a movie. Some time as well.
Really great attention to detail too to that movie. Like you can see bruises and stuff, and stuff apart from that. But like, just the stuff that happens to the snipers. Like they were talking to snipers with their bruises and stuff, going, "Yeah, that's what happens with the kickback." All these things you can see by the way things are worn, that it looks like he's been there for ages. So. Yeah, it's really good that they did that as well. Not just like some glorified American, let's blow the heads off fucking terrorists, which they could have done.
Yeah, and I thought his performance, you just from the get-go, where he's at the start, where it changes, and I thought he was fantastic. And Sienna Miller is who I was talking about as his wife. She's fantastic. But I love it. Yeah, I won't go on about it.
Jake, I just realised before that Buddy's not here, so someone has to write these down. So I just quickly.
Oh no!
I have been writing them down for my own sake.
Yeah, I'm doing it as
well.
Jacob, back to you.
Okay. All right. I'm going with another action movie. That's my vibe today. It's a movie I think at least Wayno likes. We may or may not have discussed it beforehand, but I'm taking Snowpiercer.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
A film that I saw in 2014 when it came out, and it just blew my tiny little mind. Bong Joon-ho's only English language film so far. He's got a new one coming out soon. But this was the one that sort of, put that filmmaker on the map for me before Parasite. And it's just a blast. I mean, it's incredibly depressing and a potent look at capitalism and the class system in this really like tight-knit metaphor of a train. But it's also a really really entertaining action movie, much like The Raid 2. It's just these characters fighting through levels to get through. And it's got some of that like South Korean flair and weirdness, like a lot of really weird side characters and henchmen like Tilda Swinton, like the shoe belongs on the foot, or weird monologue about everything in its proper preordained position. Chris, I think it's Chris Evans' best performance. He gives a really heartbreaking monologue toward the end of the film. Jamie Bell's great. Snowpiercer absolutely rocks.
Yeah, speaking of babies. Oh no.
Yeah, no. No fake babies were harmed in the making of this movie.
No.
It sort of came out of nowhere as well, that movie. Like, it just popped up
100%.
and was just fucking awesome. It was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't even remember if it played in theaters here, but I think I just heard about it and downloaded it when it came out. And it was like, holy shit, this rules. It's just making all my friends watch it and shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I watched it on DVD. Blu-ray for the first time. Someone recommended it to me, and I picked it up in a JB sale and watched it. And I was like, at the beginning, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then as it went along, like you say, it goes to different things. And then when he gets to Ed Harris at the end, I was like,
Ed Harris is always the dude controlling everything in every movie.
Yeah.
Also, one story I love from the production of that movie. You know the scene where they fight all those dudes with the axes and they like cut into like fish before the battle and everything? Like, Harvey Weinstein produced the film and he really wanted to cut that scene out because it was just too weird. And Bong Joon-ho just like fed him this story and said like, oh look, my dad was a fisherman, so that scene is like a tribute to my dad. And Weinstein says, all right, family's important, you can keep it in. And then Bong said after, yeah, my dad wasn't a fucking fisherman, I just wanted to keep the scene in the
movie. Nice move.
Eat shit, Weinstein.
Yeah, fuck Weinstein.
So that's what happened with Weinstein, and it was not in that Tarantino's dad wasn't a fisherman, I don't think, but for his first film, for Tarantino's first film, Reservoir Dogs, Weinstein goes, "You've got to cut the torture scene out, the ear scene," because, and he said this verbatim. He said, "You got to cut the torture scene because it won't. Women won't come and see this film." That's literally what he said to Tarantino, right? Because he tells it on Rogan, and he goes, "Women just won't come and watch this."
It's already just a movie about a bunch of dudes committing a crime. Women won't watch it anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, and so Tarantino went, I'm not cutting the scene, and they had a big back and forth. And he said, if you don't cut this scene, it's not going to be made. And he goes, well, we won't make it then. He just stood his ground, Tarantino, against this prick, and freaking Weinstein went, all right, leave it in. But it'll be your funeral. And look what happened.
And then it's like the most remembered scene.
Yeah. But I love stories like that, man.
Yeah. Jeffrey.
I'm going to venture off and head into what was a good year for horror movies, especially horror comedy. And I'm going to go with What We Do in the Shadows.
Yep.
Nice, man.
I just watched it again the other day, actually. It's fucking so funny. I was just laughing out loud. And by myself as well. Like, when I normally watch a comedy movie, I watch it with other people and you laugh because, you're having a good time and you're connecting watching the funny stuff. Sometimes I watch a comedy movie and I know it's funny, but I won't laugh. But What We Do in the Shadows, I was fucking slapping my knee so many times at just how fucking funny it is.
Yeah. No, it's a beauty.
Yes, put Waititi on the map for sure. Another one in 2014, I was just dragging all my friends and forcing them to watch it. Like, it's funny.
It's so good.
Mm. Oh, it's literally laugh out loud funny, yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
You're going to fucking love it.
Yeah.
I reckon.
It's your humor.
We've talked about it before on the show, and I've got to get around to it, which I will do soon. I got 2 in a row, and I'm pretty stoked because I'm going to pick another sci-fi movie, Edge of Tomorrow. I just rewatched this recently. It's really good. Not a huge Tom Cruise fan, but I do like a lot of his movies, which is weird. It's kind of a time loop movie where he keeps waking up in the same spot, and every time he gets killed, and he has to try and keep going through the same thing every day to try and figure out how he can save the world, basically. It's a great fucking movie. It is a really good action sci-fi movie. I love it. So I'm happy to get that at pick 3, even though there's probably movies that are technically better still available.
Nah, it's a great movie. Someone took a pick 1 on our time travel movies episode, which was pretty. So yeah, no, there's a lot of love for that one out there. Live, Die, Repeat, as they kept trying to rename it in the marketing.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Bill Paxton. Just rest in peace, that guy. He's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
absolute legend.
Mm.
And then for my 4th pick, I'm going to take a movie that I watched last night. I rewatched last night for the first time since it came out in 2014, and that is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
Fucking oath.
It's so good. Like I've decided to rewatch them all. I rewatched Rise at first, obviously, and the thing I noticed the most about just the visuals is I think the CGI is so much better in this one than the first one. But yeah, it's such a good movie. It's so different to the first one as well, which I think is awesome. It's a completely different. It's almost a different genre in a way. Like, even though they're sci-fi basically. But yeah, incredible movie. I still haven't rewatched War yet, which I'm planning on doing very soon.
I'm so angry right now because I totally forgot to put that movie in my 2014 list. I think Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is a masterpiece. That and War, I think, are two of the best blockbusters in the last 15 years. Such a great pick.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
People do not talk about those movies enough, man, for real.
I'm pumped for the next part coming out. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but yeah,
I'm not just because Matt Reeves isn't directing it, but I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
No, he's a genius. That Matt Reeves dude, yeah.
He does not miss.
No.
Right, Jeffy.
I'm going to stick with horror comedy again. I'm going for a Ryan Reynolds film, which is very quirky and fun. The Voices, where he's schizophrenic.
I love that film.
Talks to his cat and his dog, and he murders people in the most nicest possible way. If you haven't seen it and you like Ryan Reynolds, I reckon it's probably one of his better performances because he's not that smart ass Ryan Reynolds carbon copy of a character. So
yeah, it's before he was just playing a guy who knows he's in a movie in every single movie. It's genuine, great, dark fucking comedy.
Yeah.
So you haven't seen it, check it. I think it's on Netflix.
I watched it when it came out.
And
I watched it a couple of months ago, and again, I'd seen it back in the day when it first came out, and I literally, I was cacking myself. But also, there's tonal shifts where you see what he's doing, and Jesus, and Reynolds, as Geoff said, he's fantastic. Yeah,
and how catchy is the end credits song? Man. How catchy is the end credits song?
Yeah.
Sing a happy song, sing a happy song.
Nice.
Yeah, I watched it when it came out, and I haven't seen it since. And I quite often when I watch movies, I like to be doing something. Like I might watch movies while I'm doing work or whatever. And I remember watching it and just thinking, "What the fuck is going on?" At some point, I was just like, "What?"
Look away for 10 minutes, and suddenly there's a head in a fridge. Oh fuck! All right.
Yeah.
Just the chemistry between the cat and the dog. I don't think that's a good idea, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that.
And he's doing all the voices of the animals, isn't he?
You earn the right to be hit by a minivan. That's Scottish for some reason.
Yeah. But doesn't he do all the voices, Reynolds as well? Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. It's a gem, yeah. But,
we need to bring back weirdo Ryan Reynolds. He's playing it too safe now.
Yeah.
Although I'm so looking forward to tomorrow watching that Deadpool trailer. It's dropping tomorrow, mate. And just that poster they've dropped where you got the claws with his finger going like.
I haven't seen the
Yeah,
trailers, but
I
I'm
don't think
keen
you
for that
guys have
movie.
seen it.
I feel like
He's got
Deadpool.
his three adamantium claws, and then you've just got Ryan Reynolds touching it like this. That's the poster. That looks wicked.
Back to you, Jacob.
Okay, choosing between two here, so I'll pick one of them, I guess. All right, I'm gonna take. I don't know where you guys stand on Marvel movies. They're kind of shit nowadays, but 2014 did birth my favorite MCU movie, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that one. Look, as someone who like didn't really grow up with Star Wars or anything or care about it, this was kind of my like because it hit me when I was like 16 years old. So that was my sort of big space team up movie that I really felt connected to these characters and everything. And yeah, I don't know. It's just exciting. It has great action movies, great visuals. Like it looks better than half the dumpster sludge they're churning out at the moment. And yeah, like Chris Pratt was great before he got really annoying. Groot's such a lovable character. Vin Diesel, great voice performance. I don't know. It's a very, very special personal movie to me, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think it's
No.
great. I love it. Yeah. I'm a bit like you. I was into it right up until Endgame. I don't think there's a movie after Endgame, including Guardians 3, that I really liked. To be honest,
I love Guardians 3, but other than that, they've gone so far downhill.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of those movies, pre-Endgame, are really good, especially like the Avengers ones and that. They all tie in so well together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just love
no,
James
I love
Gunn. James Gunn, I think he's one of the best superhero directors. Like all three Guardians and like his Suicide Squad movie, all great, fun, weird comic movies that sort of embrace the silliness of the genre while still like having a big heartbeat. Yeah, no, great stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a genius,
No.
Gunn. Like I love everything he touches. And
100%.
Guardians, just seeing like the homage to Troma, and I was because like I'm a big Troma fan, and just seeing the homage to Troma, I was like, fucking good on you.
You know, if James
Like,
Gunn's involved, there's going to be some tentacles at some point.
oh yeah, there's going to be something weird. Yeah, definitely tentacles. Like yeah, he's always got tentacles somewhere.
Slither's still my favorite, but I love Guardians. I think it's great.
Super's great too.
Super,
Yep.
yeah.
Super's great. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Marvel, as you guys know, but I like obviously Deadpool, and I like the more adult side, and I think Guardians is more adult side. So not like the adult side, like the knockoffs from the porn
But like
industry.
yeah, it has some. It has something for everyone. Like yeah, it's not just like sludge aimed to distract your kids for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Adsey, your pick 4 and 5. Your last two picks.
I'm gonna go with the Equalizer with Denzel as my number 4. Absolutely love it. It's still my favorite Equalizer film, and I love Chloe Grace Moretz, who's the young girl in it, and it's just a really good story, like where he's trying to get the big security guard to get into. I think he's trying to be a copper, and he's just Denzel just knocks it out of the park with just like you believe that he's literally going out at night with a freaking sledgehammer and then putting it back at the Bunnings, but very, very, very cool film, and the ending.
That Bunnings action scene is just incredible.
Yeah, it's the best.
Cool. But yeah, I don't think they ever could get close to the first one, but I still love all three, but the first one really nailed it. And I'm going to go for my favourite Jack O'Connell film, and it is Startup.
Dude, I didn't know anyone here would have seen it. That movie's incredible, man.
Yeah, I mean, this could have
too.
easily made my number 1, but I just forgot about it and just remembered it then. And I went, hang on. And I Googled it. I was like, oh, it was 2014.
I've got that Blu-ray somewhere too. Like,
yeah. And yeah, Ben Mendelsohn in it as well. As you boys, most of you boys know, he's my favourite Australian actor, and
You haven't been talking to the cops, have you, mate?
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he plays Jack O'Connell's dad in it, and he's like the second in command in the prison because it's a prison movie. And yeah, I just found this riveting, and again, not a boring moment in sight. It just moves like a freaking freight train, and yeah,
Yeah,
loved it.
it's so grim, so brutal, and so like emotionally brutal. Just about the way it shows like how we're like doomed to become our parents in so many ways.
Yeah,
Mendo should have got an Oscar nomination for that movie. I think it's one of his best performances,
good.
honestly.
Yeah,
I,
no, I
I'm a,
agree.
I'm just as everyone knows, I'm just as big a fan of Mendelssohn as Adsey, as we all are. And when I looked up lists for 2014 movies, I saw that and thought to myself, why the fuck haven't I seen that?
Yeah,
I just,
you'll love it. It's
You'll
so
love it, man.
underrated.
Yeah,
I've got it written down on my list because I was going to bring it up if no one picked it, like just to talk about it. Because for whatever reason, I didn't know it existed. So I didn't have time to watch it before we did this. So I'm keen as to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it very soon. I've already
Yeah.
got it lined up, ready to go.
yeah.
But yeah, your last pick, Jacob.
All right, man. Well, I'm just really happy that someone picked Startup because I was like almost too afraid to pick it because I didn't think anyone would have seen it. All right, look, let's just go personal again. Let's go with what I think is maybe the greatest feel good movie of all time. I'm taking Jon Favreau's Chef.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
This is the movie that if I'm having a bad day, I'll break that glass in case of emergency and chuck on Chef because I think it is just an absolute delight. And the way like it's sort of about Favreau's career and how he started out making indie films and then sort of got caught up in the blockbuster machine. It's just about someone going back to their roots and doing what they love for the right reasons. It's a great father-son movie. It's a great movie just about a dude just repairing broken relationships in his life. And it's a great movie about food. Absolute food porn. Like that pasta he makes for Scarlett Johansson's character in the first scene. I made that once. It's good shit. Like, oh my God. Scarlett Johansson wasn't in the room, unfortunately, but it's a great film. And like I think it's refreshingly there's not a ton of conflict in it, which like I know that can kind of go either way, but I think like the whole second half of this movie is just this great bonding experience road trip movie, and I just find it a real breath of fresh air and one I just will continue coming back to for the rest of my life.
No, beautiful, mate. And I totally agree with the hungry thing. When you're watching it, even when they make a cheese toasty in it, and you're like, shit.
Oh, yeah. I still make toasties that way, like in the fry pan because of that fucking movie. Like
the butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it spawned a great
wicked,
spin-off show. Like there's just this Netflix show, like the Chef Show. There was just Jon Favreau cooking with guests and stuff, and that was a really, really fun show as well.
Yeah, Bill Burr was on that. That was the funny one.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off because he's trying to do the toasted thing and he's sitting there going, fuck! I fucked it up again. But yeah, no, wicked, mate. Great choice.
Geoff, last one.
Last one. I'm going to stick with the horror theme, and I'm going to go with a movie that I watch on the regular with Creep.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yeah. It's such a good movie where the guy who puts an ad out wants somebody to come and film his last days because he's going to die and he wants his unborn son to be able to know who he was. And he just turns out to be a really fucking weird serial killer creep. And it's just this, you go down this rabbit hole of weirdness. And it's got one of the best endings, I reckon. Just the way it is, it's just so dry and matter of fact. You see the film where he goes up and does it and he just puts it in his collection and that's it. It's just fucking all over.
Mark Duplass is so great in that.
Yeah.
And the second one too, which I highly recommend if anyone hasn't seen. Yeah, great film. Very, very darkly funny as well.
Yeah.
Another one I actually didn't even know about it. I just Googled it really quickly.
I think it's on Netflix.
Awesome.
I think they're both on Netflix, or they were, but I don't know if they're still there.
And they're both just as good as each other, I think. Like they're they're both great.
Yeah. No, great
Although
one.
Mark Duplass only hangs dong in the second one, so maybe slight edge to that.
Uh, all right, I've got the last pick, and there's a couple of absolute bangers left. Like,
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge year. Like,
Yeah.
whatever I pick,
Yeah.
there's going to be some people that are going to be like, "What? Like, how did you just not pick this?" I think because it's just fresh in my mind because I watched it yesterday. I'm going to go with Her.
nice.
And it
Nice.
also rounds out my list as nearly all sci-fi except for Gone Girl, which just sticks out like dog balls when you look at my list. Um, but
Although the case could be made, her brain's a bit sci-fi.
yeah, I think there's probably a couple other movies that I liked a little bit better that I could have picked, but because this is fresh in my mind, and I just love Spike Jonze so much. Adaptation and Being John Malkovich are two of my all-time favorite movies.
100% agree.
He's just an absolute legend. And not only that, he's involved with Jackass, and then as an actor in Three Kings, like he's just all-round fucking classic. So a really great movie. Not a huge Joaquin Phoenix fan, to be honest. I used to be, but he sort of lost me in the last few years. But a really great movie. I totally could have picked a couple others, which we'll get to the honorable mentions in a minute anyway. So, and I'll probably go first because I'm last. So, that'll round out my list. That rounds out all of our lists. Because I've written it down, I can actually share the screen. We can have a bit of a look. Normally, Buddy's doing this. There we go. There's our lists. Adsey went first. What do you guys on over on Jacob's podcast, The Film Draft? They usually do a panel vote, don't you?
Yeah.
We
Not
don't
you guys, sorry.
We don't usually do that, but we can totally do it here if you want.
Up to you guys. It's your show, brother.
Yeah, just steal another idea from you.
If you want.
I mean, like, so we do vote. When we do the voting, we have a rule that we have to vote for someone else. So it's the same kind of thing anyway, but we just don't do it live usually. So I'll go first because I was last, I guess. If I'm picking one of these lists, I have to go with Adsey. For his first two picks, Nightcrawler and Fury. And The Equalizer. I haven't seen Startup, but you know how much I love Matt Mendelsohn. American Sniper I liked, but I don't love it. Jacob just has too many that I haven't seen. The top three I haven't seen.
Oh, you haven't seen The Raid 2? What are you doing with your life?
No. And same with Geoff. I haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows and Creep. Can't really remember the voices. But yeah, I would definitely pick my list if I could because it's by far the best.
Sorry, I missed that because one of those fucking cunt telemarketers called me while you guys were explaining it. So, what are we doing?
That's all right. I just said I'd probably pick your list. I'll probably be picking your list out of those.
So we pick our favourite list that isn't ours.
Yeah,
okay. like we do when we do our normal voting anyway. Who would you go for?
I get it. Yeah.
I reckon I'd go for Jacobs.
Yeah.
Because I love the Grand Budapest, I love the Raid 2, and I love Snowpiercer. Guardians and Chef, I remember I liked it, but I haven't seen it since it came out. But I remember having those warm fuzzies, and I'm pretty sure that's where I learned how to fucking cook toasties in the fucking pan as well.
Hell yeah.
Which I still now do to this day.
Thanks, John Favreau.
Nice one.
Jacob, who are you going for?
Like everybody came to play, honestly. Like Adsey, I'm not as huge on your middle three, but Nightcrawler and Startup are about the best bookends on the episode. Geoff crushed it, like lots of great genre stuff. I gotta go Wayno, like Interstellar, Gone Girl, and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. They're all perfect movies for me, and Interstellar and Gone Girl would be on my list if he didn't pick them. So Wayno for me. Everybody's got a lot of good, not a bad movie on here.
Yeah. Adsey, who are you going for?
Yeah, again, you guys have got some rippers on there. I'm gonna go Jacob because I think he's got like just a really really solid fucking list. Yeah, and I love Grand Budapest. My favorite. Whereas Raid 2 is absolute bull terror. Snowpiercer again. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best Marvel, and Chef is awesome. So yeah.
Cheers, brother.
Yeah, no, it has to be Jacob. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Wayno steals my voting format, and I take the win. Woo!
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is a rule that we have to vote for someone else.
Like when you're doing the Instagram votes and shit.
Yeah.
We all just vote for ourselves on our show when we do the vote. Jaron will vote for himself on like 3 different accounts. Fucking.
We used to do that, and then we stopped.
Yeah.
Old Geoff.
We had one guest one week who voted for himself on about 7 accounts. No shit. I don't know where he pulled them all out from, but.
Robbie started making accounts, so I had to block them.
That was funny though. Oh no, it wasn't Geoff. Sorry, mate. It was Rob. I think Rob started the accounts. Yeah, someone started the accounts, and we put it up on the group, and I was like, "That's funny shit." But I'm kind of like with the whole. I'm not really going for the wins anymore, to be honest, because I just want to hear different films. So yeah, I'm trying to do ones because I wouldn't have picked American Sniper last year because I would have been going for like all the ones that I think would win it. But I mean, I don't know. I just want to pick.
It's
ones
just great to shout out movies that don't get talked about.
Yeah,
when's the last time you heard somebody bring up Startup? Like, this is why we do it.
Exactly.
I have a bit of a different. I still try to pick just my favorites, but we get to talk about those other ones. I'm going to talk about one in the honorable mentions that I've.
So am I.
I've got a fair few of those.
I'll start with honorable mentions because I was last. There's some absolute bangers here. I got Enemy. I didn't pick Enemy. Like, what the fuck? Unbroken is one of my favorite war movies.
The second best Jack O'Connell movie, 2014.
No. I'm holding it right now. The second best Jack O'Connell film. Yeah. This is the one I want to talk about. Yeah, forget the other honorable mentions. This was so close to my number 3, but no, couldn't do it.
The best picture winner didn't get picked. Birdman.
Yeah, I was pretty close to picking that, but
yeah,
I just love Chef too much. I love Birdman. Birdman in 2014, because when that year actually happened, Birdman was my favorite of the year, but it's dropped off a little bit, but I still like it quite a lot.
Yeah, I liked it. Fox Steve Carell's best. Under the Skin, which is fucking
hell
weird.
Yeah.
I had Days of Future Past, X-Men. I think it's the best X-Men movie, apart from like Logan, the other ones, Logan and that. I did have Godzilla on there, but I was never going to pick it. And the one I was talking about is an Australian movie called The Mule, not to be confused with Clint Eastwood's one, with Angus Sampson. It's so good.
It's good.
I have seen
heroin
The
up his ass.
Really
yeah.
It's great. And I have to just try and sit it out in the hotel room waiting for him to shit, basically. It's a fucking awesome movie.
Such a great premise for a film, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the only one I probably would have picked that 5th if we weren't voting. But I got to talk about it in my honorable mentions anyway. So Geoff, do you have any more?
Yeah, like I said, it was a good year for horror, and that was when I was at the peak of my horror watching. So all mine are fucking horror. I had Wolf Cop. Uh, don't know if you guys have seen that, but a guy who gets attacked by a werewolf and he's a cop, and then he goes around the town as a fucking wolf cop, makes a wolf cop mobile. It's fucking awesome.
Does sound up my alley.
Yeah,
That's definitely
totally
different.
campy, terrible acting, but it's really cool. I put Tusk on.
I love
I know
Tusk.
lots of people don't like it, but I thought it was fucking brilliant, just depraved, and everyone's like, it's so gross, it's not funny. I'm like, it's fucking hilarious. It's fucking so funny.
Also, just the main character being a fucking podcaster is funny in and of itself.
No.
Dead Snow 2 or Dod Snow 2. They just ramped up the action in that. What's better than watching guys do fucking artsy zombies? I put Wormwood, the Aussie zombie flick.
Oh, yep.
As above, so below. The
Paris catacombs.
Catacombs. That got really fucking weird and unnerving. I put Eli Roth, the clown, where the guy puts on the fucking nose and turns into the evil clown. It Follows. It's got one of the best soundtracks, beautiful cinematography. It should have been on my list, but I think I've already picked it a few times, so I'm like, I've left it off my list because of that. And then The Taking of Deborah Logan, which was pretty cool and had some disturbing imagery in there. Part where she's eating the fucking dude's head.
Jacob, you got one?
Yeah. All right, I'll shout out 3 Aussie movies that haven't been brought up. Man just listed 10 horror movies and didn't bring up The Babadook, which is probably my favorite horror film from that year.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
some people don't like it, but I fucking love The Babadook.
I love The Babadook. I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah, so shout out that one. And 2 other Aussie movies, Predestination, which is like one of the most mind-bending time travel fuckery movies you've ever seen. Sarah Snook's incredible in it.
I can't believe you didn't pick that, Wayne.
I forgot it. It's not on my list.
Yeah,
That's 100% pick that if I've got it on my list. Like, I just didn't think about it.
yeah, it was hot. Well, you got Dawn, which I forgot about. But Predestination, I was pretty close to picking. And the other Aussie one that's really underseen, it's a movie called These Final Hours that came out of Perth. It's just the world's about to end, and it's just this dude trying to get to a party, but he has to save a young girl. Incredible film that doesn't get talked about enough. All right, other ones I'll shout out. John Carney's movie Begin Again, just a great sort of feel-good film about music with Mark Ruffalo. Paddington, which I left off because I know Wayno doesn't like kids' movies, but Paddington is incredible. And How to Train Your Dragon 2, which I think is one of the greatest animated films for me. I'll shout out the Bill Hader movie, The Skeleton Twins, which is really just a great small dramatic comedy with one of Bill Hader's career best performances. It's a French movie called Mommy that I think is really incredible. A Most Violent Year, which is this movie with Oscar Isaac set during just this really crime-ridden period in New York that's really underrated. I will give you 2 more. Pride, which is this movie about the miners' strike in Wales in like the 70s. And another Aussie movie, The Rover, with Guy Pearce that doesn't get talked about.
Damn it.
That's
sorry, Adsey, I took one of your. I could keep going, but I'll stop now.
I forgot about The Rover as well. That's
I'm just glad someone
Rover's
picked
great.
it that wasn't me, because I always pick it. To be honest.
What do you got, Ad?
I've got Nymphomaniac Volume 1.
Yes, Nymphomaniac's fantastic.
Yeah. I've got The Drop. Did anyone pick The Drop?
The Drop would have been an honorable mention, but I had to stop.
Yeah.
But I love The Drop.
Yeah, Tom Hardy in that is fucking brilliant. I've got I just watched this the other night, Lock, with Tom Hardy again.
I was about to say another good one from Tom Hardy. Yeah, Lock.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Blue Ruin, by the guy who did Green Room. Yeah, fucking.
Dude, you're naming all the indie shit I loved in 2014. Like you, get it, man.
I loved it. Frank.
Yes,
love Frank.
Maps to the Stars. David Cronenberg. I really enjoyed that one as well. Yeah. And the one that I'm holding. Cold in July as well. Shit. Michael C. Hall from Dexter. Don Johnson. Absolute belter of a film. But the one that really doesn't get any play is 71.
Yeah, I have that Blu-ray too. Actually, it's a great movie. I forgot about 71.
It's so fucking good. And
early Barry Keoghan performance in that as well.
Yes, yeah. And it's an IRA one, and Jack O'Connell's a British soldier in it, who gets stuck basically behind enemy lines, and it's such a your heart's just racing because he's got to get out, and he's being chased by these fucking these blokes who just want his blood, and it's just it's so
Sorry,
good.
Unbroken. You're now the third best Jack O'Connell movie of 2014.
But if you're worried it's like a preachy war film, it's not. It's absolutely
It's a thriller.
A thriller, but like a thriller in the sense where you're like hiding behind shit. You're literally like, what's gonna happen next? But yeah, no, I love
film.
it. Yeah.
I don't think I've listened to anything since you said Predestination. I've just been sitting here fucking spewing because my list looks so much better with that in number 5 than fucking her.
Hey, I still voted for you, brother.
Yeah.
And Adsey, if you'd picked half of those honorable mentions over American Sniper and Fury, I would have voted for you, I reckon. Some good shit in there.
Yeah, I've still got to try and I say that I'm still going to try and get the ones that could win it, the more popular ones. But I'm trying to get popular ones that I haven't picked before. So that's the goal anyway. But I mean, I know for a fact if I pick my actual favorite films, which are all indie films, I'm never going to win one.
Hey,
so
I think
I've won one this year. So what are we doing next, Chris's? All right. So I promise I'll do fucking all indie ones. All right. I promise. I won't do anything that's got a budget over 20 mil.
It's like when we have Shane on, he just the last episode, for instance, he picked Heart and Souls. Yeah, great movie or whatever. But when we do the voting, most people are younger now. So they haven't seen it or like whatever, so they just ignore it. But he doesn't care. He just picks whatever he loves the most.
Yeah, he just picks whatever.
I love Shane.
Yeah.
Last week, what was it for Supernatural? He picks The Golden Child, and I was just like, yes, that is so good, cunt. I fucking love that movie.
Had one cunt come on my show just picking movies he hasn't seen because they're popular. Like he's like, I'm going all the way in for the vote.
Yeah. But there's so many good ones. Like the ones I picked, I love, But I mean,
I could name 10 more honorable mentions right now. Like it was such a good year, and I guess it was around the time I was getting into movies, so I was watching and seeking out a shitload of stuff.
Yeah,
that's very deep.
Fantastic. Yeah, but yeah.
All right, we should wrap up. Thanks so much for coming on, Jacob. It's been bloody awesome having you on again. It's been too long since the first time. Do you want to tell people where they can find you and your podcast?
Yeah, cheers, Wayno. It's been very fun. I love doing this, whether it's my show or yours. I'm definitely keen to hopefully come on with my co-host Jaron sometime so I can beat him on 2 different shows. That'd be good too. But no, you can find me. I have a podcast called The Film Draft where we basically do this. Wayno may or may not have stolen the idea from us. That's neither here nor there. That's for you to decide. But hey, look, we didn't invent the concept of film drafting either. But it's pretty much just this sort of shit. We one new episode every Monday. I'd love to get maybe a couple of you guys on as Adsey and Geoff's been great to love to get you guys on sometime if you're interested.
Love to.
So we're on Spotify, Apple, wherever. Follow us on Instagram at The Film Draft. That's where we post weekly lists for you to vote for as well. And you can find me on Instagram at Jacob Watches Films. I just post all kinds of movie related bullshit.
Yeah, I'll follow you now.
All those links will be in the description here as well, so you can go there as soon as this finishes and have a listen. I listen to it every week. I missed a couple when I was moving house, so I got to catch up. But it's a really great podcast. It really is. I highly recommend everyone go over there and check it out. So yeah, thanks again for coming on, Jacob. We are going to do another pre-record, so you'll be able to watch that.
Honored to be a part of your first ever pre-records.
Yes. The second one will be out in a week's time or however long it takes to put it up. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching all the way through. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Yes, guys. Bye bye.